Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. So I need to apologize because I actually filmed this Curtsy episode 2 podcast and YouTube version weeks ago, and it was filmed, it was edited, it was ready to go. I actually even thought that I had it up already on YouTube. I thought it was live. This is just what happens to me when I'm filming a lot and I have a lot of videos on my hard drive, but I'm not very fast at editing, so they just kind of pile up until I get to editing them. So in my mind I thought that I already posted it. So then I went and filmed episode 3 a couple days ago, was ready to go post it, and I'm looking around and I'm like, where's episode 2? Am I crazy? So I went in my hard drive and I was scrolling. My husband and I, we were up all night trying to find this video. I thought I was crazy that I was like, I know I filmed this. I remember I have all the notes taken down. I remember I was in my bedroom, I was sitting on the floor, filmed it, and it's gone. I have no idea. My husband even installed the software to try and go through deleted files to see if I accidentally deleted it. I don't know what happened. I must have accidentally deleted it and it's gone now. I don't know. I have no idea. So this is actually my second time filming this, which sucks because the first time I filmed, I thought it turned out really good. So I'm a little bummed. So crossing my fingers that this still turns out good and I get my points across. But so this is Curtsy episode 2. And in this one, I did a lot of kind of how to use the app from the seller's perspective, and I kind of looked back on the history of Curtsy, like when it started, who created it. I kept seeing online that I know they did a rebrand. I kept seeing that online that it used to be this and then they rebranded and now it's a buying and selling app. But I never knew the history of it or when it started or anything like that. So those are my 2 big goals out of this episode, is that it's going to be talking about from a seller's perspective and then just kind of a little back history on there, just a little bit, not a ton. And then everything that I'm about to say, I just did a quick Google search of history of Curtsy, the buying and selling app, kind of history of it. A lot of it was just off of Wikipedia. There's just a few sentences on Wikipedia of who started it and stuff, and then I got some information from some blogs that people posted within the last year or so, and then a lot of it is off of just the Curtsy website, the FAQ section, which is another little point. I know a lot of Poshmark resellers that go to Goodwills and thrift stores and then resell stuff. I know a lot of them are bummed that you can't post on the actual laptop, the desktop version, which I agree. I think it's kind of annoying too that you can only sell on your phone, the app version. It makes things easier when you have multiple things that you want to post a lot and you want to keep up with inventory. A lot of it's just easier to upload photos and stuff on your desktop version. I don't know. It's one of those you kind of have to do it to get what I'm saying, but I hope at some point they do add in that you can post stuff from your desktop, not just the app. I'll get into the history though. So I didn't know this. A lot of this history stuff I had no idea on. So all of this I'm about to say is all new info. So it was previously known as Nimble, and it started in 2014, but I saw on a blog that it launched in 2015. So I think it started in 2014, but they officially launched in 2015 is what it sounded like when I read it, at least. And it was from the University of Mississippi. Some students there started it. Just the gist of it, it's marketed towards college kids, and you can rent out dresses. You can rent it out for a weekend and then return it. That was the gist of it. So if you're going out to a wedding or a party or out drinking and you want to look nice, you can rent dresses from other college kids, and so you're not paying full price, so you're able to get a cute outfit at a lower cost. So it makes sense. Pretty good idea. I didn't know about it in college, so I didn't use it, but I think it's a pretty smart idea, trying to save money, typically a lot of college kids don't have a lot of money to spend on brand new clothing, so I get it. Now it's anything clothing related you can buy and sell. So that was the rebrand. So they went away from the renting idea, dresses. Now it's a buying and selling app for clothing, specifically women's clothing. I don't think I've ever seen men's clothing on there. I've also never just searched men's clothing, but I'm pretty sure it's just women's clothing. So when you open the app, there is 5 main parts to it. So if you're brand new, you open the app up, there's the feed that you see, and then there's a messaging section at the bottom. It'll literally say messaging. There's a place to post the pictures. Right in the middle, you can click sell, and then that's where you post your pictures, anything that you're trying to sell. You make a listing, and then there's account info, and then anything that you like, or I think they call it love. Basically like Facebook, you can like and love stuff. They have that, so it's kind of a history. If you want to go back to a scarf or something that you liked, you can go in that section and see it. And then at the top, there's a search bar. There's, of course, a cart. If you're buying something, there's a little cart, just like every shopping website. There is a sales section, and there's an area where you can see who you're following. If there's any specific person, seller on there that you want to follow, you typically like all their stuff, you can follow just that person. There's a little what's popular section, new, so anything that was just posted. And then there's a category bar, so then you can go and see if you want to just see dresses, you can go and just see dresses or shoes or shorts, whatever, you get the idea. So that's kind of like the layout when you first open the app. That's everything that you'll see on there, just like a lot of other buying and selling apps. So nothing too crazy difficult there. So it was designed by Sarah. I don't want to butcher this name, so I'm just gonna spell it out. It's Kiparizoska. That's her last name. Her first name's Sarah. And William Alt. They were both students at University of Mississippi when they designed it. And then the founder is David Oates, the CEO is William Alt, and the lead developer is Eli Allen. I don't know if they're still working there. I'm assuming they are since they rebranded, but that's what it just said on Wikipedia. So it looked like they switched to the Curtsy buying and selling app. That I got from the Catching Up blog. Catching, Katching, Catching Up blog. I think they switched it back in 2017 or 2018 is when they switched it to Curtsy. So not Nimble, just Curtsy buying and selling app. Yeah, so they switched it to Curtsy. They changed the name. This is when they rebranded to a buying and selling app off of the Catching Up blog. And I think it was around 2018. I couldn't find an exact date of when they switched it, so I'm just kind of going off of when she wrote this blog, because it said recently Curtsy changed to a buying and selling app, so I'm just kind of going off of her blog. I couldn't find it on a Google search of like the exact date, so I'll go into prices now. So if it's under £1, it's $4.95. So some examples of this, so they have tees, rompers, skirts, things like that. If it's under £3, it's $7.95. So some examples for that are jackets, shoes, pants, anything denim that's a little bit heavier. Under £1 or heavier than £3, you actually can contact them. I've never done this, so I don't know how going back and forth would look like. I'm guessing maybe they'll kind of try and work with you if it's under £1 or heavier than £3. And then you get paid as soon as USPS scans the item in. The money goes into your Curtsy wallet, just like Poshmark. If you sell something, it goes into your kind of Poshmark wallet. I think the difference with Poshmark, though, if I'm remembering right, they pay you as soon as the person accepts it. They have to accept the item. I know a lot of people like Curtsy because they pay you as soon as it gets scanned in. There's no like the buyer has to accept anything. It just it to your money after they scan it in. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention something. Curtsy takes a 20% fee, or $3 if it's under $15. So if you list something and it's $15 or under, they'll take a flat just $3 from it. I feel like the 20% is pretty, I don't know, standard. I haven't looked deeply into the other buying and selling apps, but I feel like all the buying and selling apps are around that 10 to 20%. I don't know, I think it's fair. I mean, if you think about Curtsy's a company also, they need to pay their employees, the people that are working on the app and the management and everything, like they have to pay their people too. And that's how they pay people, is with the 20% fee. I think it's pretty fair. It doesn't bother me. So shipping, like I said before, they use USPS. Most sellers on Curtsy ship within 2 days, according to the FAQ section. I think that's pretty standard. I think they put a percent on there. I think it was 80% ship within the first 4 days, I think was the percentage that they had online. USPS usually takes 2 to 4 days to arrive, or 1 to 3 business days. If someone purchases something, this is from a seller standpoint, if someone buys something from your listings, Curtsy sends you an email and a text notification to let you know right away. And then within that email, I think you can get it off of they have a link in the text messages too. There's a shipping label. It works with any box or envelope, so you don't need to stress about that. And then if you are doing a lot of sales, they recommend their shipping kits. Something that I really liked with Curtsy, which is why kind of a big reason why I started this whole, like when I discovered this Curtsy thing, I made an account. And I think her name was Clara, messaged me right away. I don't know if she's like a manager there or she works there. She messaged me right away over the Curtsy app. She offered a free shipping kit. So usually if you can purchase these whenever. They have them listed all over on your profile. If you're selling a lot, they recommend it. It's $2.99 and it comes with 11 mailers. It works for 10 sales. It has Curtsy stickers. There's 11 shipping label holders. So it's like a little sticker and you plop the label in there and then it sticks to the bag. There's 6 medium mailers and there's 4 large mailers. I thought it was really cool because at least for me, when I first made an account on there, Clara messaged me and I got a free shipping kit. So I got all of these shipping supplies for free. But I thought that was really cool because none of the other buying and selling apps that I'm on have ever offered that. And I thought that was a really cool, kind of unique idea. Hey, let's send a free shipping kit. It doesn't cost that much anyway. So I think that's really cool. The mailers are pretty big though. I feel like they're probably best used for clothing. So if you're selling jewelry, I wouldn't recommend them. Use your own stuff, but it is nice for clothing. Like it's a big mailer that you can put a bunch of clothes in. So I think that's really cool. They're $2.99. You can buy them whenever. You run out, you can buy more. And they send you all of that shipping kit for free after I made my first sale. I made a sale and then that's when Clara messaged me and offered to send a free shipping kit, like a congratulations, thanks for using our app type thing. So you can ship it on your own, or they do have the buyer can pay for it also. They recommend free shipping. I recommend free shipping anyway on my own website. So on all the buying and selling apps, I always offer free shipping, except for Poshmark because they have their own built-in shipping stuff. So you can ship on your own. So typically you make a sale, you print the label that Curtsy emails and texts you. You print it, so there's a few options. So you can print it and put it in your mailbox, or you can drop it off in a USPS drop box, or you can obviously just go to the post office. I typically sell a lot of jewelry, so I've been able to get away with just putting it in our drop box that we have at our apartment. Or you can schedule a free pickup with USPS, or like I said, you can drop it off at a post office or a collection box. So those are kind of your 3 options. If it's a bigger package, you probably have to go to the post office or schedule a pickup. Yeah, jewelry typically fits in the mailbox for me. So those are your 3 options for if you're a seller and you're shipping something. So I wanted to talk about some of the promotion stuff. There's a couple options that you can do for promoting your item. So if I list something, click on the listing, there's edit item and then there's promote item. You can promote it and then a bar comes up and then you can promote it to everyone so everyone can see what the promotion is. Or you can promote it just to the people that have hearted your item that like it. So I've been kind of playing around with those, and I have gotten a few sales from this too. Not a ton, but it's worth a shot, give it a try. Keep in mind that Curtsy does take that 20% fee. If I list something for, let's say, $30 on Curtsy, I can promote it to everyone, and let's say I take $2 off. I want to switch it to $28. I can send it to everyone on the Curtsy app. They'll see it on their feed, or I can send a private discount to all the people that like it. So you can pick and choose. So what I've been kind of doing is I've been kind of playing around with both. I'll lower the price for, let's say I was selling it for $30, I lower it to $25. I'll leave it up for a week because I thought the deal would last 24 hours, something like that. Like I thought it would last 24 hours, a day or two or whatever, and it would go back to the original price that you had it. Because you don't want to promote it for, if you're listing it as 30 and then you're promoting it for 25, it ended up it just stays that 25. It doesn't go back to 30. But you don't want to keep promoting it lower and lower and lower and lower, because then you're losing money at some point. So little tip, if you're doing a promotion, whether it's to everyone on the app Curtsy or if it's just to the people that hearted your item, you have to physically go in and bump it back to 30. Hint, I don't want people to lose money just constantly promoting it till it's so low that you're losing money on it. So just keep that in mind. So what I've been kind of doing is if something's selling for 30, I'll list it for 25 and I'll leave it up for a few days or a week or whatever, however long you want. It doesn't matter. I've been kind of playing around with both. I haven't really noticed a difference, really. I'll just leave it like that and then I'll bump it back to 30, give it a few days, and then I'll send out another promotion to people. Just a little hint. And I have gotten a few sales from doing that. But yeah, I'm telling people this because I could see someone promoting it, and then because it doesn't go back to the original price, you have to go in and actually click edit and fix it, put it back at its original price. I don't want people to keep promoting that item lower and lower and lower to the point where they're losing money. So just keep that in mind. It was just something that I was a little caught off guard because I went to promote something again and I was like, oh wait, they didn't bump it back to the original price. So I was like, okay, well, let me bump it back to the original price and leave it there for a few days, and then I'll go in and send out another promotion to everyone. And like I said, I have noticed that you get more. I have noticed I've gotten a lot of views on it, and I have gotten a few sales. So worth a shot. It takes 2 seconds to edit it and send out a promotion. It's literally a click of a button. So just give it a shot is what I'm saying. I recommend it. Something that I wish that Curtsy will add in soon. I wish they had somewhere when you list something, you could list more than one color of something or more than one size of something. I suppose you could put it in the description box. When you're typing it out, you could probably put in there, hey, I have this in sizes, whatever, small, medium, large. But I wish there was a area where you could list multiple items in one listing, if that makes sense. I've gotten some jewelry, so that in your profile they're selling, and then they have unlisted, and then they have stuff that gets rejected. Like Curtsy has to approve of what you're listing, so they go through everything that you're listing. Well, I've gotten some jewelry rejected because in the listing I'll put a bracelet that comes in silver and the same exact bracelet that comes in gold. So it's one listing and I have gold and silver, the same bracelet but in gold and silver, and it gets rejected. So I have to individually list, here's the gold bracelet, and then in another whole new listing put, here's the silver one. That's kind of the way around it, but I wish you could just put it in one, because they have the messaging section. So in my mind, I was thinking if someone bought this, they could just message me and say, hey, I want the silver one. You know what I mean? And then like have somewhere in that listing, comes in multiple colors, you know, comes in different sizes. So just saying, I've gotten some stuff that's been rejected because you can't do that. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just something to be aware of, and something that I wish that Curtsy would add in at some point. It would just kind of make selling stuff a lot easier in my mind. But Curtsy is very good at taking feedback. So if you don't like something, just message them on Instagram or Facebook or whatever. They've been really good at responding to me whenever I've had issues or problems. Like there was one time I was selling these rings, and they were stackable rings. So you wear them on like across both fingers. I got rejected because they weren't sure if I was selling all those rings together or not. So I messaged that girl, Clara, if she could take another look at it. And then she was like, she ended up approving of it. And then all of this, like going back and forth talking, was within the hour. You know what I mean? They've been really good at taking feedback in and responding right away. At least they have for me. So I actually messaged Curtsy about how I wish you could list more than one item in one listing if it comes in different sizes or different colors. And they responded right away that, you know, it sounds like they're working on it, is long story short. So I hope that they add that in. I'm sure their developers, or I would hope, are working on it, because it would make sellers' life a little easier when you're listing stuff. And like I said, it's not a big deal. If you have a dress that comes in 3 different sizes, I think you can just list them. You might be able to get away with just listing them in individual listings, like here's the small one, and then put in a new listing, here's the medium, put in a new one, here's the large. You know what I mean? I've gotten away with it on some of my stuff. Some stuff has got rejected. Just worst case, if your dress comes in a small, just wait till it sells and then list the medium one if they end up rejecting it. Just gonna have to wait till it sells. It kind of sucks, but I think they're trying to fix it. And like I said, I messaged that Clara girl, and she was understanding and ended up approving of it. So worst case, just message them, I guess. So I think that is everything for this video. I cannot believe I accidentally deleted the first time I filmed it. Josh and I, my husband, we searched high and low for this video, and you know, when you dump so many hours into finding the video that got deleted, to the point where it's like, I'm just gonna refilm it. Like, this is not worth it anymore. We have dumped so many hours into searching for this deleted video. I'll just refilm it. It'll take a half hour. Like, but yeah, so those are some little history on Curtsy. This is kind of like the gist of like a selling point of view. If you're a seller on Curtsy, their point of view. I hope this was helpful for everyone. These are just some tips, pointers, a little bit history on Curtsy, how it is being a seller on Curtsy. But I hope everyone enjoys this video. A lot of this was helpful when I was listing stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.